Good morning guys, it's May the 6th, I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group, and once again I'm going to run through what I'm looking for in the markets for today. So Euro had a big old day again yesterday. It just was relentless. We had a few good levels. I thought it was going to stop maybe at sort of the 50 area, then my second area was 114.30, and then we went through and finally we got down to about 90. Well, we got down to 85 and it's just shown a little bounce, but this is not the sort of reaction that you'd expect again at these levels, and Euro for me continues to look heavy. Now we've hit the D, and in this market I think that the way that these EMAs are working, the fact that we've come all the way back over the top of this, running off yesterday's bar also, I think it's highly probable that you get another move down in the Euro, especially if you break through this trend line. So I'm just going to get rid of this one here. But certainly now what I'm looking for is again a 15-minute lower high, and then we go through the lows for me here. And I think we then first target is 113.50, which I believe is quite a good level. Yeah, I've got 113.80 as a key level, so it's a little bit higher. But I think certainly you get that initial breakthrough. Maybe go and test it. Remember, it's non-farm, so maybe this morning's a little bit choppy or a little bit sideways, and then you do get the moves developing obviously during non-farms or afterwards. So I've got my next level down as 113.20, and through that then I see 112.90. So this is just I mean, if the weekly closes like this in the Euro, then it is very, very bearish. Now that is the weekly one, by the look of it, that's the weekly D hit as well. So it managed to spike into and hit the weekly 1618, the 127. So the fib's complete now in the week, hence the pullback. So I'm looking for this pullback. As to where we're going to get to, I'm not quite sure yet. We're going to map that. Maybe you go and take this outer trend line on. So this is the outer one here that I've got here. So if we just extend this line out, this is potentially where this market can get to. So if we just extend this to the right, this is where I think it will go and test. That line's quite nice up with the 127 if it's not an overextended move, and we do just kind of go side, drizzle sideways and then pop down. That's where I think the first target could be in the Euro. So that's my view for that one. We look at cable. Cable also had a bit more of an indecision day than the Euro. It wasn't quite as heavy as this one running into yesterday. So what we have done is we've kind of just ran from the D straight onto the 127, and it pretty much held. We had one go at the lows and just rejected straight away. So for me the cable either goes back to 146.20 or we run straight through it, and that's a fast move down, and therefore we expect to overshoot the D. Now I've got a D at 143.80. And I think 143.50 is my next key level after that. So I think maybe we get to 143.50. I think definitely you test 143.80 should you break this. And we have also got this trend line coming in here as well. So just be wary of that. But certainly another a lower high through the lows. I think that this one will then also continue. Obviously the risk reward is higher on the top side. So if you manage to get in at a good price in cable rallies, I would definitely be a seller should it get back up towards 146.20. But I don't think it's going to get there. But I'm not traded to think where where it's going to go. I'm just going to react to what it shows me it's going to do. So if it closes back below here, we get a close below 144.60, then I'll be short. And if we get higher low and through the highs, then I'll be long. We'll take cable back up to that level. So there's my two ideas in cable. Dollar yen. Dollar yen again, I think has another move upwards. I do like this. I do favour the top side in this, and especially as I think the dollar index is going to go higher. I think that playing dollar strength potentially is fairly a good idea. So this morning I think up through 107.40 is quite an easy move. Maybe just let it retest this pivot that it's currently on. I might buy some in a minute or two should we get a rejection from the pivot and we hold on it on the other side of it, which is a long entrance. And then up through 107.35-40 area, I think that's certainly a buy. You're running into the 200, yes, at 107.75, but the D at the moment we pulled nicely back to the 61.8. The D's up at 108.50, and that is a good level I've got up there. My next level of resistance up is 108.35, so somewhere around there I do think is a good level to be looking for that, to be then potentially looking for an initial bounce. But dollar yen at the moment looks like the rally needs to continue, and I do believe that as well. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD's an interesting one. We have kind of just ground up now. The thing is that this didn't quite reach the D, and on a break of a trend line and an overextension like that, I do expect it to overshoot this D. So I do expect dollar CAD to continue on up and to continue up quite quickly. Now yesterday's candle doesn't really show that because we closed with an indecision candle at resistance, and that for me is a really good sell sign. So this could come off. The thing that I do like about this on the top side, however, is that fact that we have overshot 129.50. Is probably quite a good level. Now, if we do the 15-minute fibs, often what happens is these line up. So maybe we do get a little pop through 129.20, and then that's where we hold. So I'm going to be looking for that between 129.20 and 129.50. I think that they're probably the two good levels to look for in dollar CAD, and certainly I think a move up there is quite likely. Other than that, we pull back again to the 38, and then we might break back into this trend line and then continue on the move downwards. So dollar CAD's an interesting one. We have broken through the 21 now. We did come nearly down to retest it yesterday, and then we've pushed higher. So just be wary of that one. Aussie, again, they clearly had some bad news out from the RBA. So Aussie's been absolutely smashed. This week's going to look very, very bearish. However, we are back now into the buy zone on the weekly chart, and this now could be looking for a buy. I think 70. I've got my 38 on the Aussie down at what's this, 73.60. So if you put the sub fibs in, 38, 73.60, which lines pretty nicely up with this area, 73.80 area, in terms of the daily D down as well. So I think Aussie's probably going to start to enter its buy zone down here. You've got this, you've ran straight through the 127, so maybe just one final push through to 73 sort of 40 area. I've got a good level of resistance there as well. It's a retest of the previous highs, so I think 73.40 is going to be my buy zone. And certainly if it gets down there, then I think the long-term picture, then Aussie recovers, certainly into next week, and you can look for Aussie buys down at sort of 73.40 should it stop there, because then that's completed, and it's completed on the week as well. So I've got a weekly and a daily level at 73.40, and I think that's probably going to be my low target for the Aussie. The Kiwi, I'm still pretty unsure about the Kiwi. We've had this week, if it closes like this again, we finally managed to get into a deal on the week by the looks of it. So all of these are just completing now. They all completed last week, and we have now seen this pull back. We've just created a bit of a double top now on this one, so I'd probably say that a close through, let's put this in on my weekly so you can't really see this, guys, but a daily close below, I'd probably say a daily close below 68.25 opens this up to a nice double top formation, and therefore you can really see this one sell off, with the first target being obviously the distance of the top. So if we just project that downwards, where's that going to take us down to? Okay, so that takes all the way back down 65.50. Now we put the fibs in. Where are we on these daily fibs? So we've hit the, where do we get to? Okay, so we have pulled back to 38. We just rejected off the 118. So this could go deeper. There's nothing to stop this going deeper. I think the key might be on the weekly, because what it looks like it's happened. Let me just turn these fibs off. Excuse me for a second. Turn these off, because what it looks like to me is that we could have done it on the weekly and already pulled back. So if I just turn these up, this should give me a bit of a clearer picture. AB 127 hit, fine, it's counted it. So yeah, I think a pullback on the week needs to get back to 67.80, and then I've got 67 as well. So I think there is certainly a pullback in the Kiwi. So I think if the double top breaks, then I think that's a good short, and I'll be certainly looking to sell the Kiwi should we get down there. Okay guys, that's a quick run through what I'm looking for the markets. Again, it's non-farm, so don't expect too much this morning. Often it's a good range. If you find some good ranges to play those. I'll be back on Monday with a market update. Again, hope this has been useful. Click subscribe to never miss a video again, and I will see you on Monday. Thanks very much for listening.